Hi there, fellow sea glass lovers. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Jackie, and this is part 10 in my 12-part video series that I'm doing on creating a very large sea glass mosaic on a 12-pane window. And in today's video, I'm going to talk to you about how to take a photo and turn that photo into a sea glass mosaic. This is a picture I took one day when I was at the beach. I made this inukshuk, took a picture of it, and I just love it. So my lesson of the day for today's video is that if you can take a photo and replicate it in a sea glass mosaic, when you look at your mosaic, it can transport you back to where you were, how you felt when you took that picture. And that's what I'm hoping to achieve by turning this inukshuk into a sea glass mosaic. So the first thing you need to do when you want to replicate your photo into a mosaic is to create a simple line drawing. So I've often done a sketch and then use that sketch as my pattern. But then I discovered this program called AI Coloring Pages, and I'm going to show you how I took that photo, uploaded it to AI Coloring Pages, and printed a coloring page that's going to give me a perfect pattern to work from. So this is the coloring page that I printed from the program. I'll put a link to that program in the description down below in case you want to check it out. It is a game changer. I'm going to be using this program again. So I cut my coloring page to size and taped it to the back of my glass, and now I'm going to use that to create the inukshuk. And I've decided that I want to use sea pottery for this because my second tip I give you for creating a sea glass mosaic from a photo is to really make your photo stand out. And if I use sea pottery here, it's going to stand out from the rest of the piece because sea pottery doesn't transmit light the way a sea glass will. And it's also a totally different texture, and I'm not using sea pottery anywhere else in my piece. So that way it's going to be a bit different and act as another focal point in my overall sea glass mosaic. So I went through my pile of sea pottery and I picked out the pieces that most closely approximate the photo. So if you look at this piece, I was really pleased to find that one because that one is fairly close to the picture. So it does give me an idea of what that inukshuk looked like as it sat on the beach. And this headpiece, not exact, so it's not the exact shape, but it's fairly close. Because I don't cut my pieces, I use what I find at the beach. So to me, that's one of the most interesting things about doing a sea glass mosaic is that you're working with pieces as you found them. You're not manipulating them at all. So that, to me, it adds a challenge, but it also adds a lot of interest. So I've got my quick seal adhesive caulking here, and I'll get all those pieces glued into place before I go any further. Now, the second thing that I want to do is to decide which aspects of the photo do I want to depict in my mosaic. Now, I'm not going to include that horizon line because this is a pond scene, so you're not going to see a horizon line. But I do want to include the base, which are these rocks that the inukshuk was sitting on. So what I'm going to do is use some of my dark brown sea glass to fill in the bottom of this piece, and which is a good thing because when you're doing a sea glass and mosaic, it is really good to have it fairly weighted at the bottom. And I often weight my pieces by making them dark at the bottom. So now I'm not going to follow my pattern anymore. I have my white and green and brown trays of sea glass laid out here, and I'm going to focus on continuing on with the pattern that I was creating in the pane of glass above this pane of glass. So I want the stem of my bulrush to come all the way to the bottom. I want these brown stems to come all the way to the bottom and these blades of grass to come down, and I'm going to make it heavier towards the bottom as I get more brown and green and a little less white.
So as you can see, this doesn't look exactly like my photo, but it looks enough like the picture of the inukshuk that I took that day that it can transport me back to the beach and make me remember what it was like looking out over the water towards the scene there. And it does still tie in with the rest of my piece by changing the background here a little bit from the photo so that it fits with the current piece that it's existing in. It does work. So I'm quite happy with this. So I really hope you found this helpful, and it gives you some tips on how you can take a picture and a memory and turn it into a sea glass mosaic. So be sure to join me for my next video, part 11, where I'm going to complete this pane of glass. And in that video, I'm going to give you some good tips on how to create interest in your sea glass mosaic. So until next time, I hope you make it out to the beach, and happy sea glass hunting.